This is the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four Marvel's Invisible Woman. Now this figure I believe is a Walgreens exclusive because that's where I got it. It doesn't have a sticker or anything like that. We don't have Walgreens here in Manila, but hobby shops are selling this one for a ridiculous amount of money. Like, I don't know, like $58, $57. The cheapest I could find one is like $50 on this particular figure. But luckily for me, during our last US trip, I picked one in Florida, I think. Yeah, in Orlando. Got lucky at Walgreens. I was looking for some ointment for Alex's wound, and lucky enough that Walgreens had a couple of these figures, and I snagged it up for like $20 and saved me a ton of money. So very, very nice. Not really big into Fantastic Four. Personally, I'm more of an X-Men, a few Avengers, and really just X-Men, X-Force, and Mutants for Marvel. But Fantastic Four, I grew up watching these, this on cartoon, the old 1970s cartoon, or that was shown in the 80s, and I thought they were okay. I thought they were amazing back then when I was a kid, and I did not have any clue what the Fantastic Four were all about, except that I thought they were made up of the family of Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, and Sue Richards, and I actually thought he was the actual official fourth member of Fantastic Four, and I thought that was pretty lame. Later on in high school, I figured out it was Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, who was the fourth member of the Fantastic Four, which I don't know why they got that. Why didn't they put Johnny during that old cartoon? If you know the cartoon I'm talking about, then you're probably as old as me. So anyway, onto this figure. It looks great. I never got into the Toy Biz Fantastic Four version figures. Like I said, I didn't want to invest too much money on the Fantastic Four. And it's great that Marvel or Hasbro is trying to push out or release these figures. And, you know, it gives us hope that maybe, hopefully, the Fantastic Four will one day move from Fox back to Disney Marvel, and that would be great. We'll have Galactus, the Silver Surfer, all the cosmic entities going at it with I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy and all that. That would be very, very an interesting mix. Now onto the figure. It's great. The blue is a little bit too pale for me though. It's so classic. If you know what I'm talking about. This is like old school blue Fantastic Four. The newer ones are like darker blue or more navy blue, and then they became the Future Foundation, and now for some reason, since Reed Richards is a god of some sort, they've just gone into they've gone to a reclusive position in the Marvel universe, and they're just doing science and no superhero stuff. So very, very classic. I like it. It's very refreshing to bring back all these classic costumes from the old Marvel universe. There are some classic costumes that oh god, they're horrible, but there are some classic costumes that you would want to see. The same goes for modern costumes. There are a lot of modern costumes that are just why did they even change a good one? And there are a lot of modern costumes in the Marvel universe that are just fantastic. So with that being said, for this particular version, I like it. I hope we get to see the others. I've heard the Human Torch is going to be released soon next, and hopefully we'll get the others, Reed and Ben. If the mold looks very familiar, let's do some size comparisons first. I think they use this one, the Polaris mold, which I'm not a big fan of, honestly. I think this is more of a teenage girl's body and not of an adult woman body, and that's just me. I think it still looks great. I just would have preferred maybe they use the Wasp body mold instead. I mean, this I thought would have been perfect for Sue. I mean, Janet and Sue I think would have very similar body types. I don't know. But I think it would have been a great choice. I think if they'd use this one, and just like the Polaris, mold, I'm having difficulty standing up the figure because the soles are not flat, as flat as I want them to be. And they haven't changed that. It's a little bit curved in some parts, and that kind of sucks if you're trying to put the figure in different poses. All right, so on to, let's put these two behind us for now, just for now. So the figure looks great, uses that mold. It's got a hole right there, which I don't know why, that was for the cape for that, so that's okay. And as you can see, the arms have been, this right arm has been molded in a clear smoked plastic, and as well as this hand, which gives you that's her power, invisibility, obviously. And I love it that they didn't have to. This is, I think, perfect for me. Instead of having a variant that is all invisible, I think the phasing or turning invisible of one part, I think is good enough representation of the Invisible Woman. Now this, if you don't want her with open hands, there is a closed fist, but it is an opaque fist, which is fine. But most likely I will display this figure with the open hand. Yeah, because that's how the Invisible Woman is always portrayed. She's like stopping things with her invisible force field and all that. So very, very nice. So the sculpt, yeah, you know how I feel about it. It's great, but it could have been better. Could have been used for, they could have used this one. That's just me. I'm sure a lot of you love this mold and would prefer this one over that one. Okay, paint apps, not bad actually. I looked through several on the pegs at Walgreens, and the only issues, if you're very picky, I'm going to nitpick on the figures, is really the face. The face is fine, but the lipstick, you just have to make sure it's on straight and that the eyes are painted on squarely and not too far apart or too close together, but that's it. The issues I had were only with the lipstick being either too long painted over there at the sides and her dimples, or just maybe too short or underpainted. That's it. And then the other one I thought was the tempo on the Fantastic Four logo, and some were like faded, some were too dark. But basically, they turned out okay. Everything else, all paint apps, looks okay. Articulation for the figure. It's got a ball joint neck on a hinge. It's got a ball jointed upper torso, ball hinge shoulders, ball hinge elbows, ball hinge wrists, ball jointed hip. It goes like this and like that. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees that go up to here, and ball hinge ankles with the rocker joints. And again, even with the rocker joints, it's very difficult to stand this figure up because of the curved nature of the soles of her feet. So yeah. Head sculpt looks to be pretty new. I like it. I like the hair sculpt on it. It allows you to still move the head in different ways without being hindered by any of the locks. It looks great. The flesh they used on her is a little bit too dark for me. I would have preferred a lighter flesh tone like this one. But that's fine. To me, it's okay. It'll work, actually. So, yeah, very, very nice. The figure gets a 9 out of 10 for me. I think it's refreshing and we get these new updated Fantastic Four body molds or figure molds instead of the older ones we've gotten, the 2-packs and all that, and Toy Biz. It's great, and I'm looking forward to getting some of the other guys along the line. Last thing I want to mention is Kirby, the robot. It's great, actually. It's a very, very cool representation of the figure. Comes with the base. You just plug in here. And did I just hear something click? Okay. No other articulation except for the head that's on a ball joint. And I was kind of hoping, it's perfect as it is. I was just kind of hoping they'd give him an arm. Like, I remember that cartoon, they'd put all their hands like that, and Kirby was the last one to put his robot hand on it. And when they did that whole Fantastic Four theme song and the opening sequence of that cartoon, and it would have been nice if there was like a small hole you could plug in that hand. But nitpicking aside, it's a great, great figure. So there you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. If you can get it on retail, don't pay scalper prices for it, that'd be great. It's a great figure. Looking forward to the rest of the characters in the Fantastic Four lineup. Marvel Legends series, Marvel's Fantastic Four, The Invisible Woman. Thanks for watching.